What's up, everybody? King of Old School. I am here to do an exclusive for the Friends of the Squared Circle Facebook page. This is, I do believe, the first unboxing that isn't Major Brothers or Major Wrestling Figure Podcast of the Power Town figures that have just shipped out to everybody. This was a kind of a funded thing where, you ordered the stuff and then they made however many and then it came out. And we just got these in today. The first one out of the package is the Magnum TA. Here's the packaging. I think the packaging on these is epic. And, if you're a mint on card collector, you can keep these mint on card because this packaging is awesome. You're not going to get as many dings as you would with like a Elite per se or an AEW box. This packaging is wild. But yeah, first one out of the box is Magnum TA. I'm going to take them all out, show them off, then I'm going to remove them from the boxes, or from the packaging, I should say. Alrighty, next out of the box is Lou Thesz, former NWA champion, first ever 6-time NWA champion. Each of these figures comes with a title belt and some cool entrance stuff. Like you see Mr. Thesz here comes with a robe and a title belt and a towel and stuff. I still can't get over this packaging. It is by far the highest quality packaging I have seen on a wrestling figure. Alright, I wanted to save these two for last, but the next one out is Stan Hansen. This is the figure that I am most excited about. This is from his All Japan stuff. I mean, he was also in the AWA wearing this attire as well. But if you wanted to, you could probably take the United States title from Magnum TA and put it with your Stan Hansen figure, because that would be pretty accurate as well. Again, here is the side of the packaging. Lift that up for you. Got it on the back. Each one of these has a little story on the inside of the packaging, on the inside of this flap, and it's magnetic. So, hear the little click, and it'll stay in there, so it's, pretty solid packaging. The only one that we have not gotten yet is the Kerry Von Erich. They said that they just got those in recently, so they're going to be shipping soon, just not yet. The next out of the package is Verne Gagne. I'm saving the other one for last because, obviously it's Bruiser Brody, so yeah. So this is the Verne Gagne figure. Here's your packaging. Verne Gagne also comes with the old school AWA title belt. They called that the license plate belt because they had the Prison make it that was making the license plates at the time. It also comes with a jacket and a title. And here's the one that everybody was going gaga over. He was a late announcement to the lineup, replacing the Ted DiBiase figure. Here is the Bruiser Brody. He comes with one of the All Japan titles and a chain. He comes with a couple of different hands and his vest. Here's the back of the packaging with his signature cowhide boots. Alright, I'm going to set these aside and I'm going to open up my first one. So the Kerry Von Erich, again, they have postponed putting that out for like a week or so, I guess. I don't know if it's on the water or if they just got it in, but it's going to be no cost to anybody that picked up the entire set or just the Kerry Von Erich, having them shipped separately. Okay, so here we go with Magnum TA. He has this classic leather jacket. He comes with the NWA United States title, a couple of extra hands, and then I'm guessing that these are knee pads. Yes, they're knee pads to go over the painted on knee pads. I know that was a big discussion amongst people, not wanting them to have the painted on. They would rather have the accessories to go over that. Let's see, is this taped on? Yes, it is. If you guys are wondering what I'm using to open these, it's a safety cutter so I don't ding my fingers. Pull out a couple of hands. Oh, the title just falls right out. Oh, that was easy. A lot easier than the Mattel figures to come out of the plastic. That is really cool. That is instead of making a bunch of noise with all the crinkling and everything, just pull them right out. Set that aside. Let's take off this leather jacket. Pop off the hands first so that I can take this jacket off a bit easier. This leather jacket is it's a bit stiff. It's not as stiff as a lot of the Mattel stuff, like I remember the American flag sting, that jacket having to actually heat up the jacket to take it off, because it was on there and you were going to break the figure if you did not heat it up. All right, let me put some hands back on. So I don't know how close I can get this, but they have little knobbies here for the hands, and they go left to right. Pop on a hand, there we go. Goes on fairly easy. Not as easy as the Storm Collectibles figures, but fairly easy. Let's see. So these joints, it feels like it's kind of like a little clicky, kind of like a gear, but not too bad to go on. See how the knee pads fit over. See if they fit right over the boot to go on. And it looks like they do. Powertown just announced, I think today that they announced, who was in the first lineup of their Remco line that they are now doing. Steve Rosenthal from Powertown was the original designer for the AWA Remcos back in the early 80s, early to mid 80s. And for them to bring those back is epic. They announced a bunch of figures, like Missing Link would be his first ever action figure. The I Quit match 2-pack for Tully Blanchard and Magnum TA, which is really cool. Trying to think of who else they announced today, but those two were the ones that stood out to me. Oh, the Rock and Roll Express, that's really cool, because I really wished that I had those back when I collected the Remco figures. I had to use my Midnight Rockers, aka Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels, as the Rock and Roll Express. being imaginative as a kid. All right, so here we go. Got your knee pads on there. This isn't a bad looking figure. Let's check the leg issue. Legs go up just fine. They're not snapping off like the early ones, the early prototypes. And this US title, let me stand up and get this right up close for you. The detail on this, it's a little bit blurry, but the detail on this is really, really cool. And at first I didn't think it was adjustable, but I guess it is. So it will probably work with your Mattel figures as well. Let me put it on Magnum here. Okay, here we go. Magnum TA. The head scan on this is so well done. It is, you know, it's what you would have for like a Ultimate Edition type line. It is very detailed. I'm not super crazy on the boot design. I think that boot design, other than on the toes, I think the boot design is kind of lacking. But other than that, I think this is a really nice figure. I'm probably going to leave the jacket off from him. And I will leave him standing there. Let's see, next I will do Verne Gagne. Verne Gagne, the former owner of, oh, I guess he's not going to stand. Former owner of the NWA, or AWA I should say, who is how Steve Rosenthal got into making wrestling figures, was with that company. And his son, and Verne Gagne's son, Greg, is working with the talent to get them signed to contracts with Powertown and everything. There we go. Accessories are out. All right. So this is Verne Gagne from the 1950s. You can tell because he actually has hair, unlike myself. Let's pop these hands off so we can take the jacket off and see him a little bit better. Alright, that jacket came off relatively easy. I feel like this body style for the Verne Gagne figure is a bit nicer than the one for the Magnum TA. I feel like he was a little too wide in the midsection for how Magnum TA actually was. But yeah, this Verne Gagne, I think it's a really, really good, accurate likeness. It's, you know, plain Jane because he was plain Jane type of presentation. Just plain black trunks, plain black boots. He's got his towel here. And I think that this toy belt for the AWA title looks better than the actual representation of the title, which is cool. The jacket says VG on the breast, and on the back it just says Verne. and I am pretty happy with this one. First ever Verne Gagne figure. Leave the title with him, and I'm going to set him aside. The next one out is going to be Lou Thesz. Another fairly simple black boots, black trunks figure. Alright, he comes with his entrance robe, which looks kind of like your dad's bathrobe, but they weren't too flashy back then. This title is really, really nice. This is the 1940s, I do believe, NWA title. Sorry, I can't get it not to be blurry. But the design on that title is really cool, which, as a fan of the belt designs, these are so much better than they looked in the pictures online. I think this head scan is really captures his likeness. See if I can get the vest or the robe off. This one's a little bit stiffer to get off, but it's not bad. My only critique about them putting these on here, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but there are some little black scuffs which I can get off with a magic eraser. Hopefully it won't damage the paint on the figure too much. These hands go on relatively easily. He also comes with the towel accessory, which was pretty common back then. Set that aside. These are going to be very posable. The action on them is really right there, very tight. The head scan on this is really nice too. That is definitely early days during his prime. I would like to see if they come out with a late 70s version of the Verne Gagne and a late 60s version of the Lou Thesz. Next up is the Lariat, Stan Hansen, also a former AWA World Champion. Now, originally we were supposed to get a Ted DiBiase with this set, wearing a similar vest to what Stan Hansen's wearing here, as they were a tag team in All Japan Wrestling. Stan Hansen had a few tag team partners in All Japan. Most notably would be Bruiser Brody, but he also teamed with Ted DiBiase, Terry Gordy. I believe he teamed with Johnny Ace for a bit. I could be wrong on that one. Okay. So this figure is really cool. This vest and these chaps are they're well built, but they're thinner than this robe and the leather jacket for Magnum TA. He comes with his signature hat, a rope, a cowbell accessory, and his Texas Horns hand accessory. He also comes with one of the All Japan Tag Team titles. I don't think that any of them actually say the name of the company on the titles because of copyright infringements, but let's oh, that hand was not on there very well. There we go. And it came right off again. Let's get a close-up on this. That's a pretty nice action figure right there. I'll show you the back of the vest. It's got the skull and crossbones. Same with the sides of the chaps. So this figure and the next one are the ones that I'm most stoked about. I'm a big Stan Hansen fan. His stuff, I became a fan of his stuff when he came to WCW to feud with Lex Luger. His match with Vader, I think it was on Clash of the Champions. It might have been on a pay-per-view, but that match was just epic. Alright, I'm going to set him down, put his accessories with him, and move on to Bruiser Brody. All right, so pull out all the accessories here, pull out the figure, show off the accessories real quick. We've got ourselves a chain here. It's an actual chain, kind of like the Jakks figures used to do. This is another All Japan tag title. I don't need to show you up close. I just did that with the other one. Got a, well, it's not a 2x4, but probably a 2x2. Kind of looks like a toothpick in my hand. Bruiser Brody's signature fur vest. Now on to the actual figure. He comes with the right hand in the chopping position, because he used to do the Huss thing when he would come out and hold his hand like that. Okay, let's do a close-up on this. You can see all the scar tissue on the forehead. Got the signature ponytail in the back, along with the one knee pad and the cow fur boots. I think these figures are going to be a little bit taller than the Mattel figures, but I'm still going to display them with them. They might be a little bit taller than the AEW figures even, but size comparison with these, Brody was 6'6", Hansen was 6'3". I do believe Verne Gagne was 5'11". Magnum TA around 6'1". Lou Thesz around 6'2". So I think that this is a fairly accurate gauge between the figures themselves. And yeah. Very, very cool line of figures. I'm so stoked to have these in hand finally. I don't know how the stuff comes off for the, maybe it just pulls over everything for the chaps. Yeah, looks like it just pulls down. But yeah, this set is awesome. I can't wait to get to Kerry Von Erich. I can't wait to see what Series 2 ends up being like, because they have so many people under contract. I think they have the Rougeaus, which other than Jacques being the Mountie, they haven't had a Raymond, they haven't had another, like an actual just Jacques Rougeau. So that would be pretty cool to get them as the fabulous Rougeau brothers. And all the other Rougeau family that were part of the Montreal wrestling lineup. But I'm King of Old School. This is the Powerline Wrestling Series 1, minus Kerry Von Erich. Have a good one.